Well, hello, my journey walkers, and welcome to another Walk It Out Wednesday with Coach T. That would be me. And this is where I try to give you guys some words to live by so that as we continue to walk out this journey called life, we all get better at that walk. Okay? So, as you know, this is week 4 of my Walk It Out Wednesday series dedicated to the healing and restoration of women. In the past 3 weeks, we have established our identity and we have cleaned up our emotional baggage. So make sure you go back and watch the replay of those videos. There are lessons that I truly believe that will really help you to start really planting the seeds of healing and restoration so that you can see it play out in your life. So please go back and make sure you watch those replays. We are now on the level setting phase in this series. So let's start with a definition of level setting. Level setting is a nice corporate sounding term that they throw around in meetings when they really want to say, we just want to get everybody on the same page or want to bring everybody up to speed so that everybody has the same basic understanding of a situation or a project. Okay. So today I am going to help you get everyone in your life, including yourself, on the same page of understanding about who you are becoming. So as you continue your journey to a better you. So let's get into it. In week 1, you established your worth. And you did that by describing both your positives and your negatives. And in doing so, I think you discovered just how awesome and wonderful you are, even with your flaws. And you also learn how to be accountable for those flaws so that you can start making adjustments to become an even better version of yourself. In week 2, you learned to be your authentic self and unapologetically so. And in doing that, hopefully you realize that your imperfections are what make you unique. And it is your unique offering that makes you relevant in this world. Knowing these two things is really meant to give you a glimpse of the person you were always meant to become. And hopefully it prompts you to develop or to start developing the new and improved you. So you'll find yourself, if you're doing these exercises and really dedicated to becoming a new improved person, you'll find yourself adapting new principles to live by and making the adjustments into how you think. And this is going to really change your behaviors and influence them to be better. Essentially, you're becoming a new woman. And with each passing day, let me tell you, you are becoming unstoppable. But remember, I told you that not everyone was going to appreciate this transformation, life transformation, largely because people dislike what they don't understand. If they're not on a personal growth journey of any kind, then they're not truly going to understand or why you deem it necessary to make changes. Sorry about that. My voice is kind of gone. But so if that's the case, they're not going to automatically respect or be happy about the changes that you're making. Secondly, everyone in your circle, I hate to break this bad news to you, everybody in your circle ain't really wanting you to win, especially if they feel like they lose it. Okay? So I don't know who the they was that said misery loves company, but let me tell you, whoever it was showing up telling the truth, because that is why last week I told you to take inventory of your circle and start cutting people off. Because oftentimes what I know is that it may be hard to distinguish who you need to cut off until you introduce them to the new you, because that's when you start figuring it out. So you got to go down and dig into the innermost part of your entire being and pull out all the strength that you can muster and make a demand that they respect you in this new space. Okay? You got to stand flat-footed. That's what they used to say back in the old days. Now we say, well, they say you got to stand 10 toes down, okay? Open up your mouth and tell people you're not the same anymore. I remember at one point in my life, I was always telling somebody, if you knew me a year ago, you're going to need a reintroduction because that girl, I am not she anymore. Real talk, you ain't going to be able to find her because she no longer occupies this body, okay? So everything you was pulling last year, you can't pull it this year because she ain't even participating, okay? I had to reacquaint people. What I was doing is I was reacquainting people with all things the new me. Why? Because my belief systems was different. You know, I think differently about situations and statements that concern me now and even others. My precepts for living were different. I walk out life under different standards. You know, my moral compass has changed. Some things I'm not okay with anymore. My appetite for things has changed. There are some things I just really don't enjoy anymore at all like I used to. Then there are some new things that I enjoy now that I used to find totally uninteresting and boring. Okay? My appetite has changed. So you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have some of those same conversations, and they will not be easy, but know this. Know that it's all a part of growing up. In the past 3 weeks, I've been encouraging you to grow up. Grow up in your thinking, up in your behaviors, up in your decision-making ability, up in your confidence level, up in your faith, up in your relationship with God, yourself, and others, so you can grow and mature. That is the point, to grow and mature. And anytime there is growth, there is a restructuring of you and the people around you. Let's make no mistake. Your change is going to affect the people around you. Okay? And they are the ones that decide if it's going to be a positive effect or a negative effect. Okay? That's why you have to set boundaries, because that lets people know what's okay and what's not okay. This lets people know there's a few little things that, ain't going to be possible no more. There's a few little behaviors that I'm not going to be engaged in and I'm not going to be tolerating either, right? The bottom line is you're not the same. And just as the expectations you have of yourself must change, so must the expectations that others place on you, okay? And either they adjust their expectations that are in alignment with the new you, or they feel away because they ain't no longer going to be getting what they want from you. And that's okay. It's okay for them to feel that way. They choose if they still want to be in your life or not. This is how you get to know who is for you and who is not. Those that respect and support the changes that you make, those are the people that actually want the best for you. And they're willing to not be a hindrance because they want you to get there. Those that are, and they're willing to do things differently so that they don't become a hindrance. Those that are not willing to do that, those are the people that you need to be cutting off. But you got to be prepared, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to start ruffling some feathers, honey. And when you start ruffling feathers, you're going to start losing some people. And that's okay, because with every growth session, there's always some pruning. Some things got to go, because you got to be willing to do that for the sake of your own personal growth and development. If that's what you want to be, you want to be the very best version of you, and you want to make changes, you have to do that. So I'm saying to you, take courage in reintroducing yourself to the people in your life. And if you are ready to do that, I need you to type in "I'm reintroducing myself" in the comments. Join me next week for the final Walk It Out Wednesday in this series, which is reclaiming our time. We're going to be reclaiming our time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am the Coach T, and as always, remember to just be you. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.